Holy smokes, boys, we got ourselves a nice little meat cooker right here as the dog checks her out. Hey, let's show the people what we picked up. We went ahead and grabbed ourselves an E315. It's natural gas. Some people will be like, propane and propane accessories. If that is your boat, then you can go afloat. For me, I have a natural gas outlet, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use her. So, of course, just like most meat warmers, make sure you have protection. You want to keep it from rusting, and you want to keep it fresh. Ain't that right? Yep. All right, let's go ahead and grab us a machete and open this up. It's the same size you'd find down in Mexico, but it'll work. First thing you want to do, open that up, slice and dice, everything nice. Don't cut the last end, because that would not be manly. Oh yeah. We've got some toilet paper. We've got some more straps. Remember, protection, protection. I wonder, will this cut it? Oh yeah. Try again. Oh yeah. Well, that's such an eco-friendly thing right there. We got some more stuff. Woo-wee. I'm gonna go ahead and pull all this stuff out of this dirty box, because the last thing you want is get everything dirty. So we're gonna keep it nice and clean, nice on this stuff and on the cardboard. Make sure none of it touches the ground. Otherwise, it'll scratch your paint off. And then, well, it starts your 10-year warranty. Well, Meek and me have gone through everything, and we've made sure everything passes inspection. Remember, boys, inspection is the best first impression. Once we go ahead and we find everything, this will be your first part you're going to be dealing with. You'll find the casters and everything inside the bill. Make sure you open it up nice and slowly so you don't flip the whole thing. Grab all your accessories out of there, and first thing we're going to do is flip this over. So once you've got her flipped over, it's time to screw. Go ahead and put this one right here. Next thing is, grab your package, take out your screws, and put them in. So before you start screwing away, make sure that you're putting it in the right hole. As you can see, you've got this piece right here. This has a locker on it. So your lockers will go up front. You can see the lock tells you where it goes. So locker wheel goes here and on the other side. Up here, you'll see two that do not have lockers. Those ones go over in there. So let's go ahead. If the wheel is in your way, don't think I have to explain this, but I will. Just turn that wheel out of the way and get a screw in. Now, big important thing, never ever ever just go ramming and screwing all of them in there super tight right away. You need to go loose. The reason why is if you go ahead and do that, you won't be able to line these up. So as you can see, we go like this. Always back turn and then screw in. This keeps you from stripping. If you strip, you cry. So you don't want to cry. You want to go ahead and make sure you do this. Okay, we have, let's see and make sure. Yep, we got 4 in there. Look at that. She just fits in there. Go ahead, tighten her right down. You can go nice and tight with these, but only one hand. Otherwise, you'll strip them and you'll cry. So now we've gone ahead, made sure that this wheel's in. So when you start screwing, make sure you don't go over crazy yet, and make sure that you don't go overly tight. You want to make sure that you leave it nice and loose, so that way future screwing can happen. Because if you go ahead and start cranking those things, you will notice that it won't crank the same way for the rest of them. So go ahead, line them up like so. If you have a magnetic driver, you're going to be living life a little bit more. Once you've gone ahead and screwed everything in the undercarriage down here, make sure you go back over and you make sure it's well screwed. You might have missed a screw. It's very important to make sure you don't mess this up. Make sure your locks are here, so that way you have a sturdy foundation. Sturdy foundation means that your house doesn't fall down. This isn't your house, but you don't want a barbecue falling down either. Once you go ahead and do that, flip her over. Go ahead, take this piece. You'll see this will line up like this on those holes. Oh wow, look at that. How necessarily amazing. Because it's necessary, make sure that all holes line up. Once we go over here, you'll see a door magnet. Make sure that door magnet is facing those locker wheels. Because if it doesn't, well, you're going to be tearing it apart. Go ahead and smack those bolts in. Which bolts are they, you might ask? Well, you will see a bag called B-bag. In that B-bag, you will see a bunch of flapjacks and screwy doohickeys. You will also see those 2 little silver pieces. Don't flirt with them yet. Leave them. You're gonna need them later. So take a screw, take a washer, and line them up and just lightly thread them into those holes. Once again, just get something in there. Do not crank them until every hole is filled. Take a look at that. This is the next piece. Guess which way it goes? Like this. You can see it's shaped like that. What she's gonna do, squeeze in between these two. And remember those riv nuts? Well, that's what they're gonna get used for. You're gonna just separate it like so. You're gonna probably have to take it and squeeze. After you do so, just go ahead and put them screws in. 4 of them right there. Don't forget your flapjacks. Once again, double checking your orientation. You'll go ahead and see those screw holes in the back are higher than these ones. Just make sure those high screw holes are both in the back. Once I've gone ahead and done so, you go ahead and grab this. Oh look, there's a ledge on it. Make sure that ledge, like so, aims down. Note how this one does not have a hook. You will not be hooking today. Go ahead and do this. Make sure the screws go in from the other side. If you go ahead and put the screws in this side, well, it'll just fall down and make you look like a fool. Make sure that you use those same screws from B-Pack. These ones, put on your flapjack, go ahead and put 4 of them in. Well, hello from the other side. You can see both the screws are tightened in there. And if we look over here, the screws are tightened in here. Next, we need this piece. You will need to locate this little window right here. That is where this hook slides into. So take that little hook, put it in the window, slide down. Oh, look at that, it's in there. Good job, thanks Meeks. Next, you're gonna need a flapjack and you're gonna need a screw. Put it in there and put one in there. Thanks Meeks. Free to space for Mika there to lie down. You'll see this piece hooking right back at you. All you're gonna have to do, take it and do like we did before, slide it in from behind. Let's show you again because my camera was not aimed right. Comes in here and goes in just like so. Screws, just do the bottom ones. Do not do the top ones yet. So this one right here, which you'll have to flex once again to make sure that it fits in so that hook is exposed, but do not do the 2 top ones because we are gonna need those ones for when we mount our silver plate. So, screw flapjack. Well, soldiers, go ahead and inspect your bang up job that you've done on the undercarriage. Screws should be tightened by now. If you want to go ahead and double check every single one of them. This will make sure that you've got a very strong foundation. And you know what we said about that? Your house won't fall down. So go ahead and take a look. Screw here. Remember, no screws here. Those 2 need to remain open. Next thing you're gonna do, come over the top. Beautiful, ain't she? Just wait till she's cooking your meat. Go ahead right here and pop out these cotter pins. You might need a pair of pliers. I won't because I know these things. Go ahead and just separate it just a little bit. They slip out. Keep this hardware for later. Put it down somewhere where you're gonna lose it. After that, slide the pin out. You'll hear notes as you go along. Look at that. See how that just came out like that? Oh, slips out. Perfect. Now, I'm not gonna attempt this with a camera in my hand, but this whole top is now free. You're gonna go ahead and lift this top and put it on top of the box. Flip it over so that way it doesn't fall out because we're just gonna be working with the bottom here. You don't want the top on there because it'll be way too heavy. Oakley dokley, we've taken the top off, and as you can see right now, electronic igniter right in here. You can see gas is exposed right to there. Nice, cleaned up, ready to go. Don't trip, that'll hurt. You're gonna have to lift this up and the gas is gonna fall inside here, that gas pipe. When you sink her down, it'll sink down onto here all the way. Just make sure that gas right here slides into this notch. After you've lowered this down, we'll be good. Once you've lifted this on, as you can see, resting right there, resting right here, and we are in the groove. We are definitely in a groove right now, so let's not stop. You can see, you screw here, but this time, we're gonna flirt with those little silvers. Throw them on, they've got teeth, they bite. It's a good thing. Go ahead. Put them into here. Reason why? That way it holds better. Once this goes on, take the last one, put it in here. Oakley dokley. Once you've gone ahead and thrown these 2 screws in here and you've screwed them nicely and tightly, we've got this spot right here on the inside. You're gonna line it up, stick the little hook just like you did before, only you hold it there, and then you're gonna put the screw in from the other side right here. So hold that here with one hand and lightly screw it in, and then crank her down. Now, if you're a propane user, you're gonna have a spot here for a bottle. You're gonna have to go ahead and put that piece on right here and have it nice and ready to go, so when you pop your bottle into the bottom, it'll tighten up nicely and not shake around. If you're like me, because we all mess up now and then, and this is not inside the cabinet, that's fine. Go ahead, grab, wiggle, and this will pull out. Pull out the black and the yellow. They both separate from here. Put that wire down and through down here. From there, we will plug them back in. Once you've gone ahead and tucked her in right here, go ahead and plug your yellow into yellow and black into black. If you're colorblind, light into light and black into black. The moment you all been waiting for. Time to mount the sparker. This gets mounted right here. So, as you can see, it sits like so. Come over here, this side. You're gonna open D package and you're gonna grab this and this. And what you're gonna do is make sure your washers are on. Put that back on there in a sec and screw that in from the other side. We aren't gonna put the battery in yet. We're gonna wait. Don't feed it through that hole yet until it's in place. Just leave it nicely in here. Just to confirm, they go in this hole. Leave these 4 or whatever holes open. Leave them. Don't need to touch them. Next thing we're gonna do, in the spirit of the moment, we are gonna go through right here. You're gonna see that silver piece, and it's gonna have that dangle. That is for your igniter. Make sure that sinks down like so inside. That way, I don't have to fix it later. Next, these go onto here. Like so. This comes up like that. Now, how do we know it's right? Well, you can see these, after it flips up, that'll line up so you can put silver screws in. So, you're gonna have to open package J. If you've got a 215, you're gonna have 2 to put in. If you have a 315 like me, you're gonna put 3 in. So, you can go ahead and do that. The other thing you gotta note, it'll line these up down here. There's 2 more. So those 2 remaining screws from those flapjack screws, you're gonna put those in there. But thing is, these ones do not get flapjacks. They just go in just as screws. The only 2 that will go in without flapjacks are these 2. The rest should have them. If you have extra flapjacks laying over, you miss some. You should go over and figure out which ones they needed. Another thing to note when locking this on, up there is a little silver hook from which this slips into. Make sure this slips into those 2 little silver hooks as you go down. Once you do, then like I said, you're gonna put those screws down here, 1, 2, and then you can put these 3 in. You're gonna open up this package. You're gonna notice you have these 4 bits right here. These are like a big giant washer and they're also structural. And then you're gonna have 4 for each side. So 2 and 2, keep your nuts with your washers. Once you've gone ahead and separated them, go get your side pieces. We're gonna line them up onto these bolts and then lightly screw the nuts on after we put our structural pieces in. I'll show you what that looks like. When you're inspecting these lapels, you'll notice one has hooks. The hooks go on this side. So leave that one for this side where it says Spirit. Over here, you'll notice underneath here, structural washer. Then tie your nuts up. Once those nuts are sitting there, hand tight, so that way we know they're lined up, go ahead and take an 11mm wrench, get those things nice and tight. Go to the other side, do the exact same thing. Next thing you're gonna wanna go ahead and do, grab these little D-rings. They actually separate so you can put your wire in it. Now, taking a look here, see those little holes there? Fit nothing else but this. So, go ahead, go inside, plug that hole. Just hold your Barbie and squeeze it in. You'll hear a noticeable click, as though if IKEA had just told you. We're gonna go ahead and, oh no, drop it. That's right. Sink it in. Go ahead and squeeze your wire into that opening after you've sunk it in. Look at that. Hey, last one right there. Go ahead and squeeze it in there. Look at that. Holds it up nice and dandy. Go ahead and take your last wire. Go ahead and stick it in there too. Boom. Now, you're going to see two holes. Guess what? It doesn't matter. You can put it in any of them. Go ahead and slip these in any order you so wish. This just tells everything to go. There's no color coordination. So we just squeeze those in on the last two blades right there. Do it with your fingers. And after we do that, unscrew this. Go ahead and pop your battery in. Once you've gone ahead and taken your battery, positive side facing you with little dimple right here, go ahead and take this, squeeze it on. Once we've screwed that back on, go ahead and press it. Hear that? It means you got spark, boy. So, or girl, once you've gone ahead, you're probably wondering, what is this doodad dingly hit sitting right here with a really long coil? Well, believe it or not, that's for if this fails, you can actually stick a match in it and stick it in between that grill so you can start it. Next, we have our drip tray. Notice the angle. See the holes on this side? If you put that hole on the wrong side, that grease is going to pour down right there rather than in the drip tray. Or, well, into the catch. So, it slips in right there. Beautiful. Micah, you keeping our tray clean and hold? Yes, she is. Woohoo! Right there. WEBER. Woo, they even have their own name on it. Go ahead and make sure that stays in there. And then it just slips right under this tray and put it right here. Something that might need to be said to the right person on here. Never in your right mind should you empty this when it's warm. If your knuckles touch this, you will cry. If you touch hot grease, it's gonna hurt. That's about it. So, look at that. Just sits right here, right on top, just like that. Now we've got that right here. Let's go ahead and assemble our door and put it in. As I can tell, everyone's excited, including Mika right here. And she's gonna explain that this and this require these two pieces to screw this on. Why, might you ask? Well, you're gonna throw these cups in here. That's gonna brace your door so you don't actually flex your door. You're gonna lift it up on your lap like so, probably spin it around, and you're gonna put that screw in here and tie said handle to the other side. You'll see it has two sides. One is thick, one is skinny. You want the thick side to go down. The skinny side goes in the door. Now, you'll notice that this has a hole in the bottom. That's where your skinny side's gonna go. Up on top, you got a thingamajigger flicker. Just like that. Now, why would you have that? Well, you're gonna squeeze that end into there, and then on an angle, you slip this in, compress this. You can try compressing with your finger at the last second, Lego, or you can use a butter knife, hold down, and then slip it in, release, so it goes into the hole on top. Once you slip that in there, put this in on an angle, line it up. Look at that. And then find that hole. It's gonna take a second. Come on, magic man, you can do it. Right there, ha ha. Now that she's locked in, go ahead and close her, and ba-bam, she's ready to go. Next thing we're gonna do, unwrap your knobs and squeeze your knobs onto here. Once you got your knobs on, if you want, see these little grooves right here? That is where we're gonna drop on these little silver pieces that are behind Mika's butt. Funny thing to note here, notice the groove. Sits like so. Groove once again. Sits like so. Notice the pattern here. Notice where the edges are. If you rotate it, it will do the same thing. That same notch, okay? In the instructions, they will tell you to put it with the notch to the back. Do not ask me how you are supposed to do that, because I could not tell you. So, what will I tell you? I will tell you. Just put them in. I don't know what the groove's for. Maybe to pass gas when you're bored. No. Go ahead, unwrap these and slip them in. From here, you can go ahead and slide the grills in. Let me see your grills. Let me see your what? All right, enough of that. As you can see here, you can have it like this for a nice flat, if you like it flat. But if you like curves and you like sizzle marks, you can go ahead and flip these up and look at that. You're gonna leave yourself some nice sizzle marks. You can go either way. It's completely up to you. I won't judge. Go ahead, put that in there. Last piece, right here. You're gonna have tape. I hate tape. Oh my, it's gonna squeeze in. Look at that, you got your weenie cooler. So, go on ahead, put our weenie cooler on. Next thing you're gonna need, drop that top back on. Once you've gone ahead and dropped it like it's top, take this, line it back up with them holes, and slide it in. Bam! Go over here. Line it up. And might need a little bit of adjustment, wiggle. Bam! She's in. Cool tip for you. You can slide it to stick it in. So let's slide it back over there. Boom. By sliding it, now you can slide, slippity slide right into here. Oh, look at that, Mika. What did it? Give me some love. Ooh, give me some love. You get the first hot dog. If we come over here, flip it open. Ba-bam! Look at what you have accomplished. The undercarriage is solid. The top end is ready to cook and warm your meat. Go ahead and let's go plug it in to make sure it works. Or should I say hook it up? Remember, when putting a gas line out to your house, it should always be done by somebody who knows what they're doing. That way, you don't light your house on fire. Because that would not be cool. Just a reminder to always use protection to keep your paint from fading. Because once the paint fades, it goes a gray. All right, next thing to note is this tip right here. You're gonna wanna make sure that you pull that off, slide it off. So it's just like that. Now that we have this off, we can get ready for our barbecue, eh, Meeks? Make sure, let's get a light on this. See, oh, I already have a quick disconnect on my barbecue box. Make sure that it is pulled, and okay, I'm done with the accents. You're gonna make sure that's pulled because this is a very important part, and you're gonna push that tip into the coupler. The coupler then will lock on it. How you'll know is you'll keep pushing on it, you'll hear it click, and after it clicks, you'll try to give it a yank to make sure that it doesn't slide out. If it slides out, it's not in there. So keep pushing it until it locks in properly like an airline, because that's passing gas, and if that lets go, then you're shooting gas out, which would not be good. Make sure that's aiming up like so. That means that it's live. If for some reason the gas is not working, it means you need to go downstairs or wherever your furnace is. It's usually where your gas line on-offs are, and make sure that that is turned on. Down there too, there's usually 2 on-offs. Note that the Coleman grill is currently facing up. What we would want to do is turn it to 100%, click our igniter. Well, look at that. Next, turn the next Coleman grill halfway. That one just ignited. This one, that one just ignited. And just like that, your grill is live. And that's all there is to it. From this point, you're gonna want it to heat up. You're gonna let it heat up this grill, burn off anything that happened during manufacturing, and then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna cook some meat on it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know you didn't enjoy my atrocious accent, but it was a dare, and I did that dare. There we go. I tried it. I did it. It probably will never happen again. Thanks again for watching the video. Press the like if it helped you out, and subscribe for more. Once this heats up for a few seconds, make sure you take this off too. You want to go like this and peel it off. Oh, and remember those wheel locks? Make sure you lock them so that way your barbecue doesn't roll away. And just like that, the peel is done. Man, I ain't ever seen a girl so happy when I drop my wiener.